Hello and welcome to the Bruges.
It's day 3, and this is where we ported, which is really close to Bruges.
So really close, yeah, kind of. It's really bad that it's a Sunday because it seems like everything in Bruges shuts down on Sundays. We tried to make it from the port via the free shuttle to that outside of the port, or it's still the port terminal, I guess. But then from the port terminal, you can walk or you can catch a taxi. And we decided that we were going to walk to the closest train station.
Right, and so on the way walking, we saw that there was like a local tram, so we got on that just for one stop to get to the train station. But the train station...
It's closed.
Yeah.
4 people on that tram, it was like 14-ish euro. And then that was a return. I'm guessing we could have just used it all day. We didn't really ask too many questions. Probably should have. That was a bit of a mistake. Because we went one stop. We got off at Bruges Vaart, I think. Bruges Vaart was the name. And then we walked down like 2 blocks to the actual train station. We get to the train station. It looks closed. We walk around to the platform. And we find out that the train is not going to be coming for a while, at least. And we find out eventually from a guy that the train's just not going to come today.
So we just ended up getting a taxi, which ended up being cheaper than doing the route that the cruise suggested or provided anyway. So we got a taxi into Market Square in Bruges.
Yeah, actually our first plan was to do Uber, but there are no Ubers in the area, or possibly at all. So yeah, we went into Bruges, and what'd you think?
I think Bruges is really pretty. They've kept a lot of the old charm in the center area. It's easy to walk around. You've got like the cobblestone roads and sidewalks, so uneven because it's old, but a lot of the really narrow brick buildings that are just like up against each other. So I thought it was really pretty. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean the center of Bruges is very charming. I think that's a great word for it. It's a good place to walk, especially if you make it to one of the outside gates and then kind of make your way in and meander through the different streets. I would recommend picking up a map and trying to figure out like how to go from point to point, because otherwise you're just weaving through this intricate maze and you might miss some really cool sights.
They do have big maps posted in certain areas, so if you can't find a map, there is that option.
Take a picture of that and then use that to navigate.
Yeah, but getting a physical map would probably be easiest, because you can walk all the way out, because it's like the water goes around in a ring, and you can walk all the way out to the different gates. And then there's the canals that run through, so you can easily get turned around if you don't have some sort of reference.
As far as things to eat and drink, we didn't have lunch there, but we do recommend obviously to have the chocolates. The chocolates are incredible. And then they do have a local beer called Zot Blonde. And then they also have a brune. Those are really good to try. I would recommend those. Apparently Zot, the name comes from like a crazy boy from Bruges. Yeah.
So there's not loads to do, but you can spend a nice afternoon, several hours just meandering around, getting a good meal or a drink, a coffee, and it's just very chill and relaxing. But there's a lot of buzz going on, a lot of people, I think a lot of tourists, but just a lot to kind of walk around and see, but not loads to go in and do. So a day here is pretty good.
Yes, and we only spent a few hours, so we're trying to draw some pretty broad and grand conclusions. But again, we're on a cruise, and we've come to that time where I must ask the question, would you expat that?
Dun, dun, dun.
Kalie, would you expat Bruges?
I would say yes. It's very pretty, and it seems like it would be a simple place to live, not too crazy hustle and bustle, but comfortable. You?
Yeah. I would definitely expat Bruges. I think that it would be awesome if you have a car. It's quite central in terms of some European cities, Western European cities in the north that you can go visit. That's awesome. There seems to be a lot of jobs here. There's definitely a big time like automobile car industry. It's one of the biggest ports, if not the biggest port in the world for that. What else? Here's one thing I don't like. At least in Bruges, they're a massive cash society. It's very difficult to use cards. They have high card terminal fees. I don't like that. That, especially for tourism, is rough. maybe you get used to it when you're living here, but I still don't like that, personally.
It is hard in the times that we live in because we're so used to Apple Pay or tapping your card, and that option just isn't available. So a tip is to make sure you have euros when you come to Bruges.
Yeah, it's a medieval city with apparently medieval financing.
Okay, so then tomorrow we are heading off to Amsterdam.
So we're going to be hopefully porting straight in the middle of Amsterdam, and that will be much easier to get into the city center. We'll check back.
Bye.